We are talking new construction in North Colorado Springs today. Hey everybody, it's Alyson with Live South Denver, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. Colorado Springs is certainly not South Denver, so why is it on the radar today? Well, when I am chatting with folks who are scoping out South Denver and they're talking about what it is they love about Colorado, why they're moving to Denver, it is not uncommon for Colorado Springs to often fit the bill as well. So we really end up looking at both areas, talking about the pluses and the minuses, and unless there is a job in Denver, particularly a job right in the downtown Denver area, we usually do include Colorado Springs for at least part of the time as we narrow down our funnel and figure out which area is best. And there are folks who decide that Colorado Springs really fits the bill. I sell quite a few homes in the North Colorado Springs area, and it is typically new construction. And the reason is the new construction homes really hit on a lot of markers. Those new construction homes in the Springs really deliver on high designer feel on definitely less budget than you typically get in Denver. And the opportunities for views in Colorado Springs, not necessarily better, but certainly different. The mountains feel right up in your face, particularly if you get a view of Pikes Peak. Before we jump in and look at the inventory, let's look at some numbers and stats. You know how I love those. We're going to compare the Douglas County School District to the Colorado Springs D20 district. The reason is these are just very similar in feel. You're getting newer construction, you're getting lots of fresh and clean retail, you're getting views, you're getting a lot of similarities across the board in these two areas, so it is easy to contrast and compare these two areas. I pulled data for homes built since 2020. So these are all new and newer construction homes. We're looking at homes that are at least 2,800 total square feet, at least a 2-car garage, and everything that was sold in the last year. In the area of Colorado Springs, we're looking at around 300 homes were sold over the last year. The average size was 3,911 total square feet. The average finished square footage was 3,567. $878,000 was the average sold price. Comparing that to Douglas County, the South Denver area, they had about 1,300 sales in the same time with the same filters. The average total square foot was 4,235 for the homes in Douglas County. The average finished size was 3,155 square feet. And the average sold price was $1.013 million. To sum that up for you, the size premium in Douglas County is about 8%, and the price premium for Douglas County is about 15%. Let's look at one more set of numbers before we dive into inventory, just so you have a little bit more comparison between Colorado Springs and Denver. What if you're looking just for a modestly newer home, but you really want mountain views? I did a separate set of filters and I picked homes that were built just since 2000, right? So the home could be 20 years old. The other parameters were the same, at least 2,800 square feet. We're looking at 2-car garage, 3 bedrooms. But the other thing is it had to be listed as having a mountain view. For that type of home in Douglas County, the average sales price was $1.251 million and the average size was 4,852 square feet. In Colorado Springs, the sales price average was $828,000 over the last year, and the average size was 3,972 total square feet. That is a 41% premium on price. Yeah, I calculated that a few times and kept going, is my math right? You do get a 20% premium on space to go along with it in Douglas County. For some folks, they don't need the space and they would love to save the premium on price, which is why Colorado Springs does tend to rise as a strong option for many buyers. It doesn't win out all the time, but it really is a great place to at least check out so you can rule it in or rule it out. All right, let's jump into highlights of new construction across North Colorado Springs. First up, we have Flying Horse, which is a perennial favorite. Flying Horse is a gorgeous community. Several villages, some amazing views depending on where you land the lot or buy a resale home. Flying Horse is in Northgate, and both Classic and Vantage still have some lots available in here for you to build a home that you would like. You can create your own design. They will build it from dirt where you can go in and select every finish that you would like. If I were comparing the lots of the two builders, I would say that Vantage has the better lots right now than Classic does. The lots with Classic are really pushing over toward Highway 83, or what we call Parker Road, up here on the north side of the metro area. So you're going to be leaning more toward highway noise, road noise, so it's a little bit less desirable on that side of things. They do put in retaining walls, they do put in things to mitigate the noise, but less desirable in general. The Vantage lots are pushing away from Highway 83. The two are building out right next to each other. Both Classic and Vantage build lovely homes, great floor plans. I would say that Classic might build a slightly nicer finished home by a smidge. I would pick the lot over the finishes in this case, just based on location. Next up is the Timber Ridge neighborhood. Both Classic and Vantage are building in here as well. We often see these two builders together in communities. So while they are rivals, they really find they attract similar buyers. So they have a good partnership. They're very symbiotic together. You'll see them often in the same community. The Timber Ridge area is farther out to the east. It is still in the D20 district. However, it straddles two school districts. So if school district matters, you do want to determine which one you're going to fall in if you buy one of the homes in Timber Ridge, since it does straddle two different districts. Timber Ridge is great with being out east. They have some larger lots up to 2.5 acres. Downside, some of those lots back up to a larger road, which means you get the land, but 2.5 acres is not large enough to set the home back where you mitigate all of that noise. You're set back far enough to get rid of all that road noise. So if you're wanting quiet, you probably are going to be looking for maybe something a little more established to get away, get in the trees, get farther off the main road. But if new construction and elbow room are on your list and topping your list, this might be a great spot to check out. Now we're looking at the community of Cordera. There is still quite a bit available for builders, options, floor plans, lots in the community of Cordera. This neighborhood is so popular with its storybook themed parks, expansive community center with pool, their fitness facility, open space, trails. It really is just such a lovely community. Cordera sits on the northeast corner of the Briargate Commons Shopping Center. It's also kind of to the east side of the Powers Corridor Road, that major, lovely corridor that gets you all the shopping and all the retail. So it's just up that way. Vantage Homes is in there. Creekstone Homes is in there. Campbell Homes is in there. Now, Vantage would be your largest builder of those three. They are well established. They have a good reputation. They are well known all throughout Colorado Springs. Creekstone and Campbell are a bit smaller, local builder. Now, all of these are local builders to Colorado Springs, but Creekstone and Campbell are going to be a bit smaller even than Vantage is. I have had clients work with all three of these builders, and there are subtle nuances to all of their contracts. One of the things I notice that's different when working with builders in the Denver metro area versus working with builders in Colorado Springs in a smaller community is that these builders who are local, smaller, tend to build their contracts even more favorably to them than all builder contracts are. And if you've watched any of my videos about builders, I always say the builder contracts favor the builder. Well, they do. But these smaller builders like Creekstone, Campbell, they tilt it even farther that way. For example, during the pandemic, when we were seeing lumber costs rise and rise and rise, well, they came back and put in clauses in their contract that said, hey, buyer, if our costs go up, we have the right to come back to you midway through the build and pass those costs on to you. So you go under contract, you go to design center, you nail down what the cost is that you expect for your home. Let's say you think you're getting a $675,000 home all in, lot, design, home, the whole thing. And then their lumber costs go up and they say, hey, gosh, $40,000 more for your house, we're gonna pass it on to you. You may not qualify anymore. And you have passed up other opportunities, the market's shifted, interest rates may have changed, whatever, but all of a sudden you're out a house and you're set back months and months because you have to terminate. So the situations with these smaller builders can get a little funky. That's something I certainly want everyone to know. And we always read the contracts. We're very diligent about looking for all of their nuances, but it is different with these smaller builders. Sorry, side note, it's just something that is really unique compared to what I see with larger builders in the metro area. Okay, now on to Wolf Ranch. Such a fantastic, popular community, well loved too. It is so large that it is bisected into thirds by large roads. So Powers runs to the west, Briargate and Research cut it into its parts. It has miles of trails, a rec center, a lake, hundreds of acres of open space. They do planned events and so much more. It really is a community designed to create a lifestyle for the residents. So Wolf Ranch is an incredibly popular community, great resale value, as well as obviously still the opportunity to build your own home and create what you want there. Classic Homes has lots in here. A new entire neighborhood section is being built called Revel Terrace. So Wolf Ranch Revel Terrace is opening up. This one is going to be oriented towards seniors. A lot of 55 plus is going to be in here. There's going to be a lot of paired product in here. So duplex, paired homes, they have lots of different names, but they're all geared toward being low maintenance. Vanguard is going to be in here. They are a very cool builder. They do some great stuff. They and Creekstone Homes are doing a 55 plus product in this Revel Terrace community. So it's going to be nice, high-end paired products. Vanguard in particular is going to be doing the luxury series. Creekstone's going to probably be doing something that's a little more entry level, lower price point, but Creekstone does a very nice product. So these two together are creating the 55 plus community in Revel Terrace at Wolf Ranch, which is just now launching. Vanguard does have some other product and portfolio as well, spread all across Wolf Ranch. David Weekley has 3 communities in Wolf Ranch. Surprisingly, to me at least, none of these are single level living anymore. They've wrapped up what they had there. All of these are smaller, taller, so more starter home style. I come from knowing David Weekley as a large builder who does move up style homes, a lot of ranch style homes. They are one of the largest privately held builders in the US, and they do build here in the metro area, so South Denver, and they build large move up, a lot of single level style homes, but they don't have any of that product right now here in the Springs. So they do build a nice product. They do have great warranty. You will get a good home with them, but you are going to be looking at something that's smaller and taller. Challenger Homes has a collection here in Wolf Ranch. The downside I see to the location is that it is closer to Black Forest Road. Again, this is a pretty well-traveled road, and that traffic's going to grow as expansion's moving this direction and Black Forest becomes more heavily traveled. So you will get some road hum, some noise. If you want quiet, you're going to have to really be diligent about where you choose your lot to be. We are still not done with Wolf Ranch. Toll Brothers has 2 collections in Wolf Ranch. The similar thing though, Toll Brothers is tucked in between 2 fairly significant roads. They're not far off of Black Forest Road, and then they're tucked in between a major road that cuts through Wolf Ranch. So again, you need to be selective about your lots if quiet is essential to you. And Toll Brothers is a more premium builder. They charge a premium for sure, and people are expecting that if you're ever looking for resale. So you want to really think about your location if you're going to be paying a premium, building a premium home. All right, Toll Brothers wraps up Wolf Ranch. We now move to Aspen Meadows by View Homes. View Homes is a smaller builder. They are in several markets around the country. They're in moderate size markets. I have not built with them yet. So they are one of the builders on here that I actually can't speak to about their quality, the experience, what their warranty program is like. One of the things I'll always tell my buyers when they ask me about a builder and they say, what's it like? I talk about their warranty program. What's it like after you're done building in that whole next year? Do they have a yes mentality or a no mentality? I want my buyers working with a company that has a yes mentality. Yes, we want to make you happy. Yes, we want to fix that. Yes, let's do what we can to make that right. There are builders with a no mentality, and it makes it so hard. The no mentality is grating. You feel like they're screwing you over. Is that even the polite way to say it? I don't know, but that's what it feels like because you paid all this money for your house and here they're telling you, sorry, we're not going to do anything about it. So I don't know anything about View Homes to give you a feel for what their culture is like. Their homes are higher end compared to some other builders in the area. They're also building in Monument, and they are building the nicest homes in the community that they're in. They do some nice included features. So this is not a product that I would be uncomfortable recommending that at least gets checked out. This community is building east of Mark Scheffel Road at the north end of Mark Scheffel, where it narrows down, gets a little more quiet. So only really one part of this community is backing up to a road. So there's plenty of space to get off the road into the quiet, and there's some open space even over to the side. So I think there's a lot of chance to get something really lovely here. Then coming later in 2023, we've got some options by Local Homes. That's LOKAL. They build here in Denver as well. They are going to do some single family homes and some condos like right in the Northgate Briargate area. So like some infill stuff. Now, if it's single family home, I'm thinking they're going to do those tall 3-story urban style collections that are really close. Like if you stand and look, you're like, are they connected or not? They're probably separated by 5 or 6 feet. I haven't seen yet. It's not published exactly what they're doing, but that's my guess. It's what I see typically when a builder comes in and puts something into a more urban setting like that around office space and near shopping. So that's what I think they're gonna do. This is slated to be tucked in right at Voyager and Interquest, so it's a really nice hotspot close to everything. The names of the communities are Parkside at Victory Ridge and Commons at Victory Ridge. It really comes down to, where do you want to live? Will the Springs do it for you? Do you need to be in the Denver area? Will every home in the Springs be 40% cheaper than in Denver? Not a chance. I think that 15% differential is really closer to what I typically see. Sometimes it pushes to a 20% differential. It's really going to depend on so many different factors. That number that I got for those mountain views really surprised me. And I think a part of it has to do with the fact that it's easier to get mountain views in Colorado Springs because Pikes Peak is so dominant. And here in the South Denver area, we have a lot of rolling terrain, and catching some peaks where you actually have a mountain view and it's not just foothills is more challenging. So if we're really delineating and getting picky about what a mountain view is, you're gonna get a lot more chance in the Springs than you do here. The premium is less in the Springs because you have more option for it there. If you wanna chat about the differences, the possibilities, what might work for you between living in the Springs or living in Denver, you know I would be happy to chat with you. Please reach out, and I will see y'all next week.